In the misty morning fog, you open your eyes and feel the cold of the earth beneath you. You are not a knight, not a king. You are a peasant poor, solitary, yet not alone. This is your life, slow, repetitive and quiet, a long dream without an ending. You wake before sunrise. No alarm, just the rooster. The tiny hut you sleep in is made of mud and straw. You share it with your wife, your children, and sometimes your chickens. You rise, step outside, and begin a day exactly like yesterday. No coffee, no eggs, just black bread, hard and dry. You dip it into cold cabbage stew left over from yesterday. If you're lucky, there are a few beans. If not, it doesn't matter. You must eat. There's plowing to do. The field is where you truly live. You don't own it, it belongs to the Lord. You till the soil with a woodland plough, pulled by a weary ox. Every furrow is a silent prayer that this year the crops won't fail. Evening falls. Your limbs ache. You return to your hut, clothes muddy, wind biting your skin. No grand supper awaits, only thin vegetable soup, and a sigh as long as the night. You lie down on dry straw. No bed, no warm blanket, only a repeating dream that tomorrow will be the same as today. But within that quiet lies a whole forgotten world. You do not work just for your family. You pay taxes to the church, the Lord, the King. Whether your harvest is full or poor, a portion is always taken. You bow your head. You do not complain. It is the law, and you are used to it. Your life is like your father's, and his father's before him. No one asks if you want another path. The field is your fate. Tradition is the unwritten law, deeper than the roots of an old tree. Your wife rises before you. She stokes the fire, stirs the soup, mends the torn clothes. She rarely laughs, but when she does, the wrinkles at her eyes tell a life story. She is the quiet pillar and praised, yet indispensable. Your children do not attend school. They learn to herd chickens, gather firewood, chase birds from seeds. They run barefoot, hands muddy, eyes bright even without toys. Children here grow up with reality, but their hearts still dream. Your village has only a few dozen moose. Everyone is as poor as everyone else, and just as peaceful. No one locks doors. No one is rich. But you know every name, and they know the name of your old ox. The church bell rings every Sunday. You walk to the chapel not for faith, but for routine. The priest speaks Latin. You don't understand, but you listen. It's familiar. In church, everyone is equal poor, dreaming of heaven. Winter arrives like a cold, old guest. Firewood is scarce, food is thin. The soup is barely thicker than rainwater. You wrap straw round your feet to sleep, and you tell yourself, if you survive this season, you'll plant again in spring. You don't know what your face truly looks like. There are no mirrors in your home. You catch a faint reflection in the water basin, and you see a face that has belonged to this place for a very long time. Sometimes, looking at the stars, you wonder, is there another kind of life? But then the wind in the weed calls you back. You don't dream of kingdoms, you dream of a harvest without hunger. Tomorrow, you will wake again, plow again, eat hard bread again. Life does not change, but you do not wish it would, because in that repetition, there is a kind of peace you cannot name. Your woodman plough is not sharp, but it has cut this soil 100 times. You know its creaks like the familiar voice of an old friend. It is not fast, but it is loyal. Your ox is no longer strong. It walks slowly, wheezes softly, eyes heavy with years. But you cannot replace it. It has grown with you and endured the seasons in silence. When the sun sets, your village fades into darkness. There is no electricity, no light but the flicker of flame. You sit beside the dying fire, listening to the wind slip through wood. You do not fear the dark. It is as familiar as family. You have only one pair of socks, They are torn in places, patched with care. You do not complain, it is normal. You do not have much, but you do not need much. Salt is more precious than you think. Just a pinch can preserve meat through winter. When you have salt, you feel as lucky as having treasure. Salt, the simplest thing is life itself, well, is the villager's hut. Each day, you draw water for the ox, for soup, for washing hands. People tell stories by the well. Laugh there, cry there. The well does not speak, but it knows everything. You have no paper, no books. Writing is a luxury for monks. What you know is passed down by your mother's voice, your father's sighs, the fire at night. Spoken words are your only library. If the rain comes on time, the crops live. If late or too much, everything rots. You do not curse the sky. You simply look up and return to ploughing. You sleep on straw. No pillow, no warm blanket. But when you close your eyes, sleep comes quickly, your body too tired to resist. You do not dream. That is a good sleep. In the morning, you sweep the ashes of yesterday's fire. A few embers may still warm the pot. You gather each one like gathering memories. The ash is cold, but it proves the fire once lived. Somewhere, kings wage war, soldiers fall, but in your village, all remains the same. You do not know what lies beyond the hills, and you do not need to. You don't buy new clothes. You patch old ones with scraps from the dead or old sacks. Each patch holds a memory. You don't wear fashion, you wear remembrance. You hear wooden clogs, the grindstone, the rooster's cry. These sounds do not change over the years. They are the background music of a repeated life. Monotonous but comforting, like a lullaby. You have no clock. Time is measured by shadows, or the growl of your stomach. No one rushes. No one is late. Time flows. Like a nameless river, there is an old stone at your doorstep. You pass it daily without glance, without thought. One day, it cracks in half and you are surprised. Even the quietest things grow old. The bread you eat has been hard for 3 days. You soak it in vegetable broth to soften it. No one complains. No one wastes. Even dry bread is treated with care. No one outside the village knows your name. You have no birth certificate, no records, but your name is called each morning. When your mother calls you for porridge, that is enough. The old die in your village like leaves falling. No grand funeral, no gravestone, just a hole, a quiet prayer, and a branch stuck in the earth. As gentle as the life they lived. You do not plough your own field. You work on the landlord's land. Of every bundle of grain you keep just a little. The rest goes to debt or to gratitude. The fire is the heart of every home. But it is yours, and you need nothing more. You wash your hands with ash or clay. Soap is as fun as perfume for kings. You are not clean, but not dirty either. You are just normal. When the old chair cracks, you don't rush to fix it. You sit and listen to the wood sigh. Even things grow tired. They too need rest. Dinner is a bowl of thin gruel, a few grains of rice, some wild greens, and boiled water. Not delicious, not terrible. Just enough to live another day. You do not clean spider webs. They harm no one. They simply hang there like curtains of time. Proof that nothing ever changed when your stomach aches. You pick a leaf behind the house. There are no doctors, no pills, just your mother and old remedies. Sometimes they work, sometimes not. But you still believe. You carry firewood from the forest. Heavy, awkward. But no one complains. Wood is life, and your back has known weight since childhood. The old man sits all day in the courtyard, saying nothing, doing nothing, just watching the sky, breathing slowly. Everyone forgets him, but he has not forgotten the village. You have only one oil lamp. At night, You light at its glow as small as an eye. Everything fades into shadow, like a dream not yet formed, and sleep comes easier. You live a whole life, but no one records it. No statue is made. No story is told. You are just one among millions of silent souls. But that doesn't make you sad. The rooster signals a new day. No bells, no horns. Just the call of the earth. And you hear it, like a greeting. No shoes. You walk barefoot, feeling pebbles, damp grass, and packed soil. Each step a reminder you belong here. You hear the church bell from the neighboring village. Distant, yet clear. It does not call you, but still you listen, because the sound feels like peace. Your shirt has been patched 3 times. It belonged to your father, then your brother. Now it's yours, not fashionable, but fitting. The goat in the pen is old. It gives little milk, but you don't kill it. It's a companion, like family, and you let it live. When corn season arrives, the village smells of roasting. You roast it on firewood, with no spices, just a hint of smoke, and the soft crackle of kernels tastes like celebration. There's a stone you sit on each evening. It's cool, flat, and familiar. You sit there for no reason. Just to breathe. After the rain, you see your footprints from yesterday. Still they're quiet and deep. You smile. Even the mud remembers you were here. No one told you fairy tales. You know only of crops, of rain, of hunger. But sometimes, when stars are bright, you imagine things you've never seen, but wish were real. You don't know what you look like, only see your reflection in a basin. On sunny days, you don't need to know much. You live without checking yourself. Leaves fall in the yard, and no one picks them up. They lie there like layered time. Not ugly, not messy. Just nature. You see a snail crossing the stone step. Slow, silent. You don't touch it, because in its stillness you see yourself. The moon hangs over the thatched roof. Not brilliant, not golden, just a gentle silver glow, like a mother's hand smoothing over your sleep on the hearth. The fire has faded. Only faint red dots remain. Like a drowsy cat's eyes. No need to stoke it. The night isn't as cold as loneliness. There's a small piece of wood you didn't use. You saved it for a colder day. Like hope. Small, but kept. Before sleep, you think of the fields, of your father, of the harvest. Thoughts that disturb no one. They pass, like clouds. It's not soft, not pretty, but you feel at ease, because it's familiar. You grew up on that straw. Like a bird in a nest. There's one bird that always sings first each morning. You don't know its name, just that its voice makes you feel calm. As if everything is okay. You don't remember what day it is, and you don't need to. Every day is the same, but not sad, just peaceful. The big oak outside the village has stood longer than anyone. It doesn't speak, but everyone hears something from it. Like a mute elder, with storytelling eyes. You remember being small, running round hay piles, dust covering your face. There was nothing much, yet nothing missing. Sunlight and motion were joy enough. In your dream, you see a field you've never seen. No borders, no fences, no taxes. Just golden grain and laughter. You laughed in your dream and woke up still warm. The rooster crows from far away. Not clear, not urgent. It's like a soft reminder that tomorrow will come. But there's no rush. To drops click on the thatched roof. You can't hear each one clearly, but they whisper like an old, wordless song from far, far away. Today, the field hears no how. It is sleeping, like you, and you know even the earth needs dreams. Our hands are rough, calloused, but every crack is a mark of life. You don't feel ashamed. You feel proud. From the barn comes a soft murmur. The cow is asleep too, maybe dreaming of a pasture or just a patch of shade. The season of fog arrives silently in the village. Not cold, not scary. It simply makes things blur. Like gentle memory, a flickering candle burns in the corner. Its light is weak, but it does not die. It is like you, quiet, yet enduring. There's a song echoing in your mind. No one sings it. No one knows its name, but it exists as a part of you. On the dirt outside your door are small footprints, maybe yours or someone who once visited. Whoever they were, they walked here, then vanished into the mist. You pull the old blanket up to your chest. The room is not warm, but your heart is. You close your eyes and drift into sleep. Like every night. Tiny gaps between the wood planks let the wind pass. Not strong, not cold, just enough to whisper to your sleep. Moonlight slips through the window, laying a pale stripe on the dirt floor. You look at it, then stop. It seems the moon is sleepy too. Long ago, your father walked this same dirt path. No one remembers the sound of his steps, but traces still linger somewhere in the wind. An old cobweb hangs in the corner. No one breaks it, because it, too, belongs to the home. The plain wooden bowl for a porridge. It's not valuable, but it's been with you through hundreds of quiet dinners. You remember a foggy morning. No one spoke. Just silence, strangely warm. The fire has died. Only ashes remain. But you know, where there are ashes, there was once fire. A soft sound, very soft. The night cat passes by. You don't need to see it. You just smile and sleep on a frayed piece of cloth. Once a towel, once a shirt. Now resting quietly on the table. It needs no one to remember, only to remain. The old wooden bed creaks each time you turn. It doesn't disturb your sleep. On the contrary, it's a sound you've known for a very long time. No one's awake yet. Only a few birds chirping softly in the morning mist. That sound, gentle as a crest. An old log split along its grain. It will become firewood. But today, it just lies there, waiting for you. A tiny green sprout grows behind the worn hut. No one planted it, but it grows anyway, silently and steadily. A tiny wooden box, holding old needles and thread your mother once used. Each time you open it, something inside your heart opens too. Worn leather shoes covered in field mud. Not pretty, not light, but your most loyal companion through the long harvest. After the harvest, the field holds only stubble and silence. You stand there, able to hear your own heartbeat. Dry leaves fall on the thatched roof, then are swept away by the wind, just like the old days. Passing by and fading. The chipped knife rests in the kitchen, old but still useful. It knows every slice, every quiet evening by the fire. The first winter night wind carries a strange chill. You pull your coat tighter and think of last winter, when you still heard loved ones laughing in the kitchen. The candle flickers for the last time. Its light dims and dies. You are not afraid of the dark, because you've learned to find light within. You once found a seashell among the vegetables. No one knew how it got there, but you kept it, like a gentle little secret. The loaf was almost gone. Just one tiny piece remained. You meant to save it, but then you smiled and ate it. Like a good night whistle warm each winter. It's followed you through many cold seasons. And many unnamed sorrows. Sire noticed a duck feather slipping from your pillow, light and white like memory. You turned over, and the dream returned. The small stone rests quietly by the doorstep. No one notices, but you always avoid stepping on it, as if it was something sacred. Grandfather's old gloves hang on the wall. The fabric has faded, but whenever you look at them, It feels like his hands are still there. A bell rings from a distant abbey, so faint, so far, but in the night. It feels like a call from another world. The old chair wobbles whenever you sit. It creaks in the cutest way, as if it's telling stories about those who once sat there. The kettle has a small crack on its side. You no longer boil water in it, but you keep it, because it once held warm mornings. A bamboo bush grows by the crooked fence. Whenever the wind passes, it sings green sounds, like a lullaby without a name. An old chestnut rests in the cloth bag you stitched last year. It's too dry to eat now, but you keep it, for it brings back a cool, gentle afternoon long ago. The hearth grows cold. Only a flicker remains beneath the ash. You sit still, listening to the fire whisper something to the dark. On the damp soil, a cat's footprint appears between the furrows. You smile, knowing even small things leave traces. The rope that holds your clothes has a knot. You don't remember tying it, yet it remains, firm like an entangled memory on rainy days. You eat thin porridge. No meat, just rice and water. But its warmth spreads, like a silent embrace while picking vegetables. You find a little caterpillar. You gently move it aside, then return to work with a quiet kindness no one sees. That night, the moon was a slender stitch in the sky. You looked past the slanted thatch. It felt like something was about to be mended. The thread is almost gone. You still keep it from mending clothes, and sometimes you stitch up memories so they don't slip away. It no longer give milk, but you still lead it to the field each day, just so it can see the grass, and you can hear its quiet breath nearby. A wild daisy blooms beside the village well. No one planted it, yet it still blossoms, as if the earth itself quietly cares. A thorn brushes your hand while gathering greens, just a tiny mark, but it reminds you life always leaves traces, some sweet, some silent. The neighbor's rooster crows at midnight. You wake, thinking dawn has come. Then you smile. Perhaps it dreamed of morning too soon. A scrap of paper you once wrote hides in an old drawer, just clumsy lines of writing. But it holds an entire world, the one where you dreamed of learning to read. The bamboo basket you wove has a flawed spot, but you use it daily, for that very flaw makes it yours alone. You stay still, not avoiding it, letting yourself feel every tiny shift of the earth. An old wooden stick lies forgotten by the porch, unused, but you pick it up and wonder perhaps it once held up someone's roof. A dry leaf rests at your doorstep. You don't sweep it away, for it arrived like a silent guest. You sit, mending a sock with a torn heel, each stitch slow, each one like a patient sigh. When everyone is asleep, the frogs near the pond begin to sing. You listen as if they're telling bedtime tales from the next village. A bell rings at dawn, faint but warm, like a distant hand calling you gently back to the presently morning after the night's rain. You notice small footprints along the muddy path, perhaps from a fox or someone sleepwalking through the village. Between cold stones, a sprout rises proudly. You sit and watch as if looking at your younger self. Inside the sewing box, an old, worn spool of thread sits unused, but you keep it, for your mother once used it to mend your childhood shirt. You dip your hand into the clear stream, lifting a smooth, cold pebble. It holds no value, yet you carry it home like treasure. The wooden stool now stands on only 3 steady legs. It tilts when you sit, but you never fix it. It belonged to your father long ago. The salt jar is nearly empty. Just a final pinch, enough for today's porridge. Instead of worry, you nod gently. Tomorrow, someone may trade salt for greens. You glance into the old mirror, a crack running across the eye. The glass is flawed, but your face remains still whole, still yours. Among the cracked earth of the field, you find a white seashell, a trace of ancient oceans when this land was still sea. A spiderweb hangs quietly in the rafters. You look up, watching light shimmer through like silk. No one sweeps it, it belongs to the home. A single rice grain lies on the wooden table. You don't discard it, you eat it. Because you know, everything deserves respect. From the smithy at the village's edge, a slow tapping echoes. It's not loud, but like the heartbeat of the village, steady and warm. Leaves sway above. You lie beneath the shade, listening to whispers of something very old. Perhaps your own story from a life long gone. On cold mornings, your mother makes warm porridge, just a few grains of rice and salt. But you never feel hungry, only full and safe. A cat mews softly in the yard. Its cry sounds like a lullaby from nowhere. You don't open your eyes. Just listen, as if hearing a memo in the darkness. The final candle burns low. Shadows spread, but you're not afraid. Inside, you're still glowing. Samin plays a lute in the next village. The melody drifts to you on the breeze. No words needed, the sound alone brings peace. You find a chestnut beneath the straw pillow, left from last autumn. Dry and firm, but still fragrant. You don't eat it, just smell and keep it. An old scrap of paper with handwriting. The ink smudged by water. You can't read the words, but you keep it because the hand that wrote it once held yours. The little spoon's handle is cracked, yet you use it each day. It was carved from a branch out front when you were a child watching your grandfather whittle. The golden end of daylight rests on the thatched roof. You step outside and gaze upward, thinking of nothing, only knowing today was fully lived. You watch the grain bend gently in the wind. Without speaking, they tell you of patience, of time, and how small things keep the world alive. After the rain, you spot a snail crawling slowly on a rock. No hurry. No fear, it moves forward, as if its destination waits patiently. The old basket is one, straw fraying like silver hair, but it still carries your mother's market days, and the memory of your childhood. It no longer barks loudly, just rests quietly beside you, eyes closed, ears alert. You stroke its back, both breathing slowly into the twilight. The old mittens, whereupon by your grandmother when you were small, now too small for your hands, but you keep them because love still wraps memory. The fire dies down, embers glowing like the last breath of day. You don't add more wood because night is arriving, and the light within still burns. Each falling leaf feels like a blessing, for a peace, for a light-hearted dream. You watch without thought, feeling your heart lift slightly. The patched shoes have walked many market mornings with your mother, muddy, frayed. But each tear is a memory of a step taken. You yawn softly, not from exhaustion, but from peace. Night wraps round you, and you're ready to drift into dreams. You sleep. No nightmares, no vivid dreams, just a hazy space, where you are no one, and only peace. The candle burns down to its base, its light trembling as if whispering goodbye. You don't blow it out. You just watch it fade, like your worries dissolving into the night. You open the small jar of salt, a humble treasure more precious than gold. Each grain is a drop of sweat, the taste of earth, and the flavor of life. A cup of tea brewed from gone leaves, its scent light like morning dew. You sip gently, tasting the forest, and feeling time stand still. A distant church bell echoes, not loud, not urgent, just reminding you that time still flows. But tonight, it flows slowly. For you, you hold the old spool of thread, your hands remembering how your grandma used to knit. The thread wraps slowly around your fingers, pulling back a time of peaceful childhood. Wooden bed creaks softly as you turn. That sound doesn't disturb your sleep, it sings a lullaby from a distant past. A little bird returns to its nest on the roof. You hear the flutter of wings, and your heart feels like it's come home. Even though you never left, the silk scarf your mother left, its color faded but still carrying her scent. You wrap it round your neck, like wrapping a tender memory round your heart. Tonight's moon is only half full, but its light is enough. You look up, knowing that peace doesn't need completeness. You gently close the wooden door, not locked, just shut enough to keep the wind out, and let sleep come in. A breeze brushes the meadow behind your home, carrying scents of young grass and damp earth. You crack the window open, letting the fragrance in, comforting you like a child in a cradle. The old wicker basket rests in the corner. Once filled with greens, eggs, and tiny dreams, you rest your hand upon it, recalling a childhood spring with roosters crowing far away. A small cobweb sways in the rafters. No one brushes it away, for it bothers no one, just another part of the house, and the memories it holds. Soft sounds drift in from the cowshed, perhaps a cow chewing hay, or a rope brushing against wood. You smile, for even in the night, life continues gently. Your home carries the scent of old wood, a scent so unique, warm, and deep, like the earth. It cannot be bought, only earned through time and life. You remember an afternoon herding sheep, clouds overhead, soft grass beneath your feet, and a little lamb straying close to your legs. That dream still lives in every step you take. You rummage through a chest and find your old gloves. One side frayed, one has a hole, but they still hold the warmth of hands from years ago. You smile and wear them, even though tonight is not cold. In the corner, a single corn kernel remains from a past harvest, small, stubborn, but just enough to remind you that every season leaves something behind. You see the moon's reflection in the water bowl by the window. The moon is whole, silent, and the water still. You grew quiet too, as if you were the moon itself. You wrap another scarf around your neck, not because it's cold, but for the feeling of being held like your mother once said. Wrap up warm when the wind blows, my dear. You hear soft footsteps outside, perhaps a farmer checking on the hen house. The rhythm is steady, not rushed, not worried. Just another thread in the peaceful night. Your straw bed is padded with goose feathers, not many, but just enough to soften your dreams. You thank someone from long ago, gathered every fallen plume. You light the last candle left. Its golden flicker trembles like a heart at the end of a long day, just enough light to feel peaceful sleep. On the damp ground, tiny cat paw prints twist across the yard. The neighbor's cat must have wandered over again, seeking a warm corner to sleep through the night. A few dry leaves gather quietly on the wooden doorstep. You don't sweep them away. The rustle reminds you that the night wind has come. The old quilt has been patched many times with cloth from shirts, scarves, and memories. You pull it over yourself, as if tucking in the years gone by with your dreams. From afar, a church bell softly echoes. You're unsure if it's night or dawn, but the sound reassures you that you are not alone in the thick of night. You breathe deeply and feel winter's chill touch your lungs. Like a reminder, the world is resting now, and so should you. Before closing your eyes, you whisper a quiet prayer. No need for anyone to hear it. It's just a waiter and the day gentler brick warmed by the fire is placed at the foot of your bed. It holds its heat like a promise that tonight you'll sleep sound, lie and dream without worry. A silver beam slips through the wooden door, casting moonlight upon your calloused hands. In its glow, even your worry seemed to fade a little. The worn woolen socks are still carefully kept. You slip them on and feel a lingering warmth, as if your mother's care remains in every thread. You sip a warm cup before sleep. It's neither sweet nor bitter, just warm, like the quiet love of hard, humble days. A tear falls silently, not for sadness, not for joy, but for the simple truth that this day has passed, and you're still here, breathing, alive. You close your eyes. There's nothing left to worry about, just you, and the simple dreams of a poor peasant drifting into night. A soft breeze slips through the thatched roof, carrying the scent of fields and the sigh of night. You tug the blanket closer, smiling faintly in your sleep. Tonight's dream has no dialogue, only images, feelings, and soft watercolor light. What are you dreaming of? Maybe It doesn't matter. The first rooster crows in the distance. No one rushes to wake, it's still too early. But that sound quietly promises a new day will come. The room is still dark, but outside, the sky begins to shift from black to deep blue. You remain lying still, between dream and waking. No matter where your dreams have taken you, you return as the humble farmer in that quiet countryside. A new day is near, and you are ready to live another simple day. If you're slowly drifting off, just let your mind float along with the voice. Thank you for staying until the end. If you enjoy dreams like these, consider subscribing, so we can meet again on another quiet night.